Welcome to Afternoon Art Club. My name is Miss Kim. I'm the Curator of Education at the Florence County Museum, which is just a fancy term for a teacher who works at the museum. Welcome to April's Afternoon Art Club. This month we're going to be learning about and creating some origami. We're going to be folding paper this month to create some really fun things. Before we get started with our lesson today, I want to just tell everyone how, if this is your first time, give you some information on how Afternoon Art Club works. If you're joining us live, then you can ask questions during our session by using the chat box. So down at the very bottom of your screen, there's a little text bubble. That little text bubble says chat on it. And if you click on the chat, then you can ask questions. So I'm going to type a little message in the chat box, and you should be able to see it. I said, hi, everyone. And if you could just say hi to me in the chat box, that lets me know that you know how to use it. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows how to use the chat box. So say hey to me in the chat box if you can, just so that I can know, okay, I'm seeing some hellos, so just so I know what's going on. All right, now we are going to go ahead and start recording. Actually, we are already recording, and I just want to let you know that I currently have everyone muted. So you are not going to be able to unmute yourself and speak right now. So remember, if you have questions, put that in the chat box. The reason for that is the computer records whoever is talking. And so we want to make sure that your privacy is protected and you are able to not have your face and name on the recording, because we do post that to YouTube. So here we go. We are going to go ahead and get started with origami. We're going to make a couple of different origami creations today. We're going to make a little puppy dog, and we're going to make a little fish. And if we have time, we'll make one more. Then over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have you guys make some origami, and we're going to be using those in another artwork. So we're going to take our origami pieces that we've created and attach those into another artwork. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can see my tabletop, and then you will be able to hopefully see what we have going on. All right. Let's see here. One moment. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Remember that if you have questions, go ahead and just type them in the chat box. I'll be watching the chat box throughout our session today. And at the end, when I stop the recording, I'll let you guys unmute. All right, so hopefully you guys are going to be able to see my screen. One moment. All right, here is my screen. I'm going to go ahead and make it so you guys can see up close here. One moment, there we go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see really clearly. Get it focused, and there we go. All right, guys. So we're going to start out today. If you picked up a kit from us at the museum, you guys should have origami paper in your kit. Now, origami paper is square paper, so it's the same on all sides, and it usually has a colored side and then just a white side on the back. The other thing about origami paper is it's nice and thin. You can almost see through it a little bit. But if you do not have origami paper, if you're following along and you did not pick up a kit from us at the museum, really quickly, I want to show you how to make your own origami paper because it's very, very simple. This is just white printer paper, just regular old white paper. You could also use notebook paper or even scrap paper, any old paper that you can find around the house. And the only thing we need to do to make this origami paper is make it into a square, because right now we have a rectangle. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, if you guys already have origami paper from your kits, then just hang tight. I just want to make sure that the people who don't have it know how to create it. So I'm going to take this bottom left-hand corner right here on my paper. I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to try to make this edge even with this edge. So watch me. I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to line it up so that my edges match. One of the most important things when you're creating origami is making sure that you're folding carefully. So I'm just folding that so it comes to a nice sharp point right here in the corner, and it's flat along the top edge. Now, the next step is just to get rid of this part right here. Now, I could just cut it off with some scissors. I could also use my pencil just to trace a line there, and then open it up and cut off this part of the paper. And it's just that easy. That's all you need to do to make origami paper. Now, you could save this piece of paper and make other squares. You could make some tiny origami paper by just folding it in a triangle and drawing that little line just like that. And you could even make some little tiny origami. So that makes just a little tiny one. So we've got a big one and a little one. And so I could use this to make several small pieces. So that's how we make origami paper. Now, I'm going to be using the origami paper that came in your kit today. So these are, your colors may not be the same as mine. I just sort of got a collection of colors here. But we're going to start out with a warm-up with a really simple piece of origami. So go ahead and choose one paper that you want to use for your origami. I'm going to choose this light color, this light blue color. And I'm going to set the rest to the side. This is just a warm-up. We're going to go nice and slow through this first one just so that you guys kind of get the hang of paper folding. And then the next thing we're going to make is going to be just a little bit tougher than this one. So we're going to start nice and simple, and then we'll work our way up to something a little bit trickier, something a little bit more difficult. So the first thing I want you to do is turn, if you're using regular origami paper, turn it so that the white side is facing up. Turn it so the white side is facing up. If you're using just regular printer paper, it doesn't matter which side you're using. And I want you to turn it so it's like a diamond shape. So the points are at the top and bottom and the sides. So it's on my table surface and the paper is flat. The point is up at the top and the white side is facing up. This is what you should see when you're looking at your table surface. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is take this bottom point down here at the bottom, and I'm going to fold it up to touch this top point. You can watch me. I'm going to go nice and slow. And as I fold it, I want to really be careful and match my corners as close to exact as I can. Once I get my corners matched up, I'm just going to kind of run my hand down to make a crease, and then over to the right, and then over to the left. And that should give us what looks like a pretty perfect triangle. We have pointy corners, and the top is nicely matched up. So again, if you were not sure what I just did, I had my origami paper white side up. I turned the paper so that the point, it was like a diamond shape. The point is at the top and the bottom. I folded the bottom up, matched up my top corners, gave it a crease, and now I have a triangle. Very good. I can see some triangles coming to life here. All right, so now the next step is really simple. We're just going to rotate this thing so that the point of the triangle is facing down. The point of our triangle is facing down, just like that. Very simple. Now, this is what's going to become my puppy dog. Here's my puppy dog that I made right here. Now, the next part we're going to fold are his ears. So watch me carefully. I'm going to fold his ear by taking one of these corner flaps, you can watch me right here, and kind of folding it down like this to make sort of a floppy ear. And then I'm going to make a little crease. Sort of made a little floppy ear right there, just till it looks right. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, a little floppy ear. Now, if this side is too pointy, you can kind of change how you have your ear. My ear wasn't very good, but I do want to try to make my ears match. I want to make them look about the same. Okay, so again, it was like this, like a triangle with the point down. I folded one ear down, just kind of eyeballed it just to see how his ear looked kind of floppy. And then I tried to make the other one match this one. There we go. And there is our puppy dog ears. Now we don't want our puppy to have a pointy face. So we're gonna flip the whole thing. It's looking good, very good. See some good ears there. Very nice. You guys with me so far? Yeah, good job. All right, now I'm gonna flip the whole thing over. Flip it over so we're looking at the back. And we're gonna kind of make his face a little more square and a little less pointy. So I'm gonna take these bottom points of my triangle right down here. I'm just gonna fold it up a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Just fold it toward the back. You can see that's just like a little tiny triangle folded. So when I flip it back over, there we go. That's more of a sort of a rounded face of a puppy. Now, if you want to, you could use a pencil or a marker to create a puppy face. And I did have a marker right here. Here's one. All right, and so to make a puppy face, if you want to draw a puppy face on your puppy origami, I'm going to start with his eyes. And I just kind of made one dot and another dot. I want him to be kind of like a spotted puppy, so I'm going to put these little circles around his eyes. He's going to be like a spotted puppy. All right, and to make his nose, you kind of do an upside down triangle like that. I'm going to color that in. You could use a pencil or a marker or a pen, whatever you can find around. If you're using our kit, you have a pencil there. So I kind of made an upside down triangle nose. And then I'm going to make like a letter J. So you can watch me. I'm going to go from right here and make a letter J. And then I'm going to make a backwards letter J on this side, just like that. It's like a letter J, and then a backwards letter J. And I'm going to give him a few little puppy freckles. Like that. And there's my puppy. Now I have two. They can be friends. All right. So that is a really simple origami creation. Now, origami, ladies and gentlemen, is the Japanese art of paper folding. So we are taking this idea, this Japanese art of paper folding, and creating some wonderful characters. Let's do another one. So go ahead. I'm going to set my puppy to the side. Oh, look, I love your puppy. That looks great. Good job. Oh, great job. You guys have some wonderful puppies. I love it. All right, so let's do something else. Let's see if we can make a penguin together. I'll show you one of my penguins. Here he is. And I love this little penguin because he can stand up. I can stand him up on the table. It's hard to see from my camera, but we're gonna do this penguin together, okay? So go ahead and pick out another sheet of origami paper, another sheet, any kind you want, any color you want. It could be, I did this one black and white, but I have another one that's gray. We could also do one that's pink or purple, any color you want. I think I might go with purple for my penguin, a purple penguin. So go ahead and find a piece of origami paper or make one if you're making your own. And we are going to set our paper down color side up. So I'm looking at the colored side of my paper. In this case, mine is purple. And I'm going to fold it in half. So it's sitting like a diamond on my table surface. So I have a point at the top and a point at the bottom. And I'm going to take this point over on the right-hand side, and I'm going to fold it over to meet this one on the left-hand side. So you can watch me. I'm going to fold it over, match up those corners the best that I can. Once I have a match, I'm going to hold it in place, kind of run my hand down this way to crease it in both directions. And that is my paper folded in half. And I should be looking at the white side once it's folded. So again, if you need to see it again, I had my paper sitting with the color side up. It's sitting like a diamond shape, right? Then I'm going to take the right-hand side with the right-hand corner, fold it over to the left-hand corner to make a triangle shape. Give it a crease. And that's what it looks like. So it's just like the triangle, but you'll only see the white. The colored part will be on the inside, okay? All right, so you guys are still getting those triangles folded. That's great. I want you to turn your triangle so that the fold is on the left-hand side and the point is on the right-hand side. So you've got the folded part on the left-hand side and the point on the right-hand side. Okay. Now we are getting ready to make the wings of our penguin. So let's work together to do that. You're going to take just one of the flaps, one of the pointed flaps here, not both of them. And you're going to fold it over about like this. Not all the way. Don't fold it all the way to the fold. Fold it about halfway. So you want to see some white and some of the color. And I like to start up here at the point and make sure it's a nice clean point right there. And then I fold it down just like that. Something like that. So I'll show you again. I had my triangle sitting with the fold on the left-hand side and the point on the right. I get just one flap of the paper. I'm going to fold it over, not all the way, just about halfway. Press down the point at the top and make a nice crease. This is going to be one of the wings of my penguin. It's looking good. Very good. You guys are working so hard. I love to see you guys working on this. How's it going? Okay? No, looks like you got it. That looks good. There you go. Get that wing in place. I'll show you one more time. So we have it right here. This is flat. The white side is up. I'm going to take this one flap and I'm going to fold it over just a little bit. Now I didn't fold it over all the way. I just folded it over like that. And I like to start by pressing the point at the top and then pressing down. All right. Now, once we've gotten our first wing, we're going to flip the whole thing over. So I'm going to flip it over like this. So now my fold is on the right-hand side and the point is on the left-hand side, just like that. And I'm going to take this flap and I'm just going to fold it. But see, I've got this line to help me, the first line of my first fold that I just did. So I can kind of try to match those up. I'm going to try and match those folds up. I'm going to match up this one. See, it's about the same size as that one right there that's under it. So I'm just trying to kind of gently match it up. There we go. So now this side looks about the same as this side. See? They look about the same on both sides. So I'll show you one more time. With the fold on the right and the point on the left, I take the corner flap and I fold it down. And I just want to try to match that fold up to the one underneath it. So I just want to match those edges up as much as I can, give it a little crease. It's looking good so far. Yep, that's right. That's looking good. All right. Now, everybody with me? Yeah? Okay, good deal. Now, what I want you to do is just open up this flap. So we've got a little flap opening right here. I want you to open that up so it's flat. It should kind of look like an arrow here, or like a diamond that's really tall on top, like an upside down kite, kind of. And this bottom corner, we're gonna fold it up just a little bit. So I'm gonna take this bottom corner and I'm gonna fold it up, not a whole bunch, but just about that much. That's about not quite as long as my finger. So just about that much, maybe 4 fingers worth, 3-4 fingers worth, just about like that. All right, and now we're going to flip the whole thing over like this. All right, and I'm gonna take this part, this top bit, that looks right, yep. I'm gonna take the top part and I'm gonna fold that down, just like that. This is gonna be his beak. You'll see that in a minute. Okay, so we have the back of us, we folded the back of it, we folded this up, and we flipped it over and folded this part down, right? Just like that. And now we're gonna fold it in half again. I'm just gonna fold it back on that crease. We already have a crease down the middle, just like this. Gonna fold it back like this. Yep, fold it in half, great job. And now to make his little beak stick out, watch, this is the trick, this is the last bit. We're gonna take his little beak and I'm just gonna pull on it a little bit. See, that's his beak? I'm gonna pull on it just a little bit to pull it out, and then I'm gonna push it down and make a crease, just like that. It's easiest to do that on a table surface. So if you're holding it up, lay it down on the table like I have mine. Very good. Lay it down on the table, pull that little beak out, and then press that down to make a crease, to hold it out. And then set your penguin up. He should stand. Great job, guys. So far, we have a little penguin. You could give him a little eye if you want to. You could use your pencil or your pen, give him an eye. All right, so far, we have a penguin, and we have puppies, and hold on one second. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's see them. Very good. All right. I just saw a question. Is that going to be on the inside or outside? I'm not sure which part you're talking about. Let's see them. All right. Good job, guys. Can everybody hold theirs up? Cool. Very cute. That looks good. Awesome. Great job. Okay, let's do one more. And this next one is our last one for today. But you guys, over the next couple of weeks, are going to make some more of these, I hope. And we're going to use these in our artwork. We're going to make an artwork that uses these guys. So we're going to start out with our paper with the color side up. So everybody get one new sheet of paper. Doesn't matter what color you choose. Pick one new sheet of origami paper, or if you're making your own origami paper, then go ahead and get a fresh sheet of origami paper. And we're going to start out by making some folds. So we're going to fold our paper and then unfold it again because we want to make a bunch of creases. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold it in half, just like this. I have it sitting on my table like a square, and I'm going to fold it up so that it makes a rectangle. I really want to match my corners. I want to be very careful to match my corners, just like that. Okay? And now I'm going to open it back up. And now I have one crease. That's good. We need that crease there. I'm going to turn it so that that crease I made is going up and down. Turn it so that the crease you just made is going up and down. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to fold it up to make a rectangle, match up my corners carefully, and fold it, give it a crease, and then open it back up. And your paper should be divided into 4 squares. You should have 4 squares on your paper now. All right, now I want you to flip your paper over so that you're looking at the white side. Everybody flip it over so that you're looking at the white side. And let's turn it so that it's a diamond shape now. The creases we've made should look like an X. And let's fold it into a triangle. So let's take this point and match it up at the top. Match up those edges carefully. Crease it to make a triangle. We're going to open it back up. We're going to do one more of these. I know we're opening it back up, but we need all these little creases that we're making. So fold it like a triangle. When your triangle is folded, you should see the colored side. And then open it back up. So now I'm looking at the white side again. And now I'm going to turn it so that the crease I just made is going straight up and down. My paper's a diamond shape again, but the line I just made is going straight up and down. And I'm going to fold one more triangle from the bottom to the top. Just like that. And I've got all these crease lines now. I'm going to open it up and flip it back over to the colored side. And you'll notice your paper has these different creases on it. And if you take your paper and you kind of squeeze it where the creases are, it'll do something kind of like this. Is yours doing that? Yep. And now I want you to lay it down flat and really give it a crease. It should kind of look like a triangle that does like this, almost like a triangle that makes an X. So when your paper was like this, all the creases you made, if you sort of press it together, do something like that. And then you press it down. Very good. Yep. I think you guys got it. Perfect. So go ahead and kind of press it nice and flat because you want it to be like a nice flat triangle, but it just kind of has wings. All right. And we're going to turn it this direction. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter if your point is on the right-hand side or the left-hand side because your fish can be swimming in any direction. But for example, my fish, hold on, I'll show you this one that I made. My fish is swimming this direction. So I turned it this way. All right. So now let's make the tail of our fish. So this is going to be sort of our fish's body, our fish's head, but we're going to use these 2 flaps, the ones on top, to make the fish's tail. So here's what I'm going to do. I want you to watch me. I'm going to take this top flap, not both of them, just one of the top flaps, and I'm going to fold it, not to this line right here, but a little bit. So I'm not folding it straight up and down. I'm folding it a little bit over from that so that it kind of sticks out down there, just like that. So I folded it farther than this little straight and up and down line. That would have been the straight up and down line, but I went even a little farther and I made a crease. Looks something like that. It doesn't have to be in any exact location, just as close as you can, kind of over here. Go ahead, very good. That looks great. That's great. Okay, now once you have guys. There we go. All right, so now I'm gonna open this one back up. And that line I just made, that crease I just made is gonna be my guide. So I'm gonna take this flap on the other side and I'm gonna fold it just to this crease I just made. I'm gonna fold it over to that crease that I just made. And then I'm gonna fold this back down on top. And it made like a crisscrossy tail. Can you see that? So I'll show you again. This is the first fold that we had. I'm gonna lift that up and I'm gonna use this crease right here. I'm gonna take this flap, fold it to the crease, just right there. Fold it to the crease. Give that a good press. And then I'm gonna push that top one back down. And it gives me a crisscross. Now this is the back side of my fish, so I can flip the whole thing over to see the front. I'll show you one more time on that tail. So from the start of the tail, we took this flap and we folded it down a little bit farther than the middle, just like that, right? Then we're gonna lift that flap back up. And that crease that we made right there is where we're gonna fold this flap to. So I'm gonna take this flap, fold it over so it lines up with that crease. Good job. Fold it over here so it lines up with this crease. The crease from this. It should line up with this fold. And then I'm gonna take this and push it back down on top. And this should look like a crisscross. There you go. Yep, that's it. Great. All right, good job. Now give that a really good press and then flip him over, flip the whole thing over. You can give your little fishy an eye. You could give him a mouth if you wanted, a smiley face. And he's ready to swim. So today you guys have made a puppy dog and a penguin and a fish using origami. Now, what I want you to do this week is try to make some more of these little fishes. Make some more little fishes because we're going to use them in an artwork next week. So I'll send this video that, yeah, that's a great fish. I love how you added gills. Very good. All right. So you can use smaller squares. You could take a piece of origami paper and you could cut it into fourths. So remember when we folded this way and then we folded this way and it gave us 4 squares. We could cut those 4 squares apart. I could use some scissors and cut these 4 squares apart to create 4 smaller fish. I could create 4 smaller fish. So I just folded it and then cut it on the folds. Now I have 4 small pieces of origami paper and I could make 4 tiny fish. So I could have like a mommy or a daddy fish or a grandma fish, and I could then have some baby fish that go along with it. So this week, I want you to make at least 4 fish for next time. So we're gonna use our 4 fish next time to create an artwork with the origami that we've created. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed making origami with me. Again, I'll send this video out so you can watch this video over and over. If you need to see how to do the fish again, then you can watch that over and over. That'll be available for you. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so you can see my face again. All right. Now, I hope you guys have had fun making origami. Great job. I love those. I hope you've had fun making origami with me today. I love folding paper and I love creating origami characters. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording in just one moment. And then if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer those questions. We will be meeting again in 2 weeks. So that will be April the 29th. We'll see each other again on April the 29th. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day.